He's not swapping. What's going on? Why? Lip, why? This doesn't make sense in any standpoint. He has no ult charge to preserve. The comp doesn't make any sense. He's got Nano Winston and Primal Rage to play into. What is he doing? This makes no sense. I've been vouching for this guy for 6 minutes. Oh, no, it's okay. Actually, I see no, that was it. He's taller than me? Yeah, this explains a lack of blood flow to the brain. This is one of the biggest tosses I've ever seen in pro play. So for context here, Nightmare in a team done pretty well, but major underdogs versus Crazy Raccoon, which have probably been the best team in like the last year and a half. Like since Overwatch League's expiration date, Crazy Raccoon with some competition from Falcons has been like the best Overwatch team in the world consistently. They have some of the greatest players in the history of Overwatch at their positions. He's saying more recency bias, but has consistently been the best flex DPS for a long time. Lippa's argument for the greatest player of all time, probably the best hit scan of all time. Junbin has been maybe the best tank in the world consistently over like the last year and a half. Chorong, in my opinion, is probably the best main support of all time. I think that he's certainly the most flexible main support of all time in terms of the Lucio, the Curie. Like he's just the Brigitte. Like, you know, you look at like peak Chio, yeah, sure, but like Chorong has been so good for so long on so many different characters. Shu's probably the best Ana of all time, certainly up there, and one of the best flex supports of all time. So you've just got like the best players of all time, almost essentially at every position, and have also just consistently done well and at tournaments as well. Nightmare, Zera has been an up-and-comer. I've worked with Lethal for a long time. He's a very good hit scan player, very smart player. Kaffa is an Australian player that's been playing at NA so long that he's basically honorary American. Really good player, really flexible, has done a lot of really good things. Ultraviolet's probably the best. I mean, I would argue that Ultraviolet's probably the best American support player of all time, I think. And Admiral is probably the best Lucio player currently right now. I think Funny Astro has definitely held that title in the past, but I think Admiral has been consistently, if not the best, one of the best Lucio players for years now. So yeah, okay, let's take a look here. In terms of compositions here, we've got like Ball Dive. Ball's good in this map. Junbin's great at ball. Far Tracer, very good in this map. A lot of verticality, a lot of vertical cover, off-angle control. Ana Lucio is more of, you don't need, well, again, we've seen this with Shu a lot. Like Shu, Ana's good in this map, but Shu's just freaking amazing on Ana. This map is very congested, and you can generally park your Ana in a safe spot so that she doesn't need Brig Armor Pack, so your Lucio can go more aggressively, which is nice. Yeah, I mean, makes total sense here. Nightmare's comp also makes mostly sense. Hazard good, high ground control, dive options, which are good. You won't be able to interact with a lot of heroes here. The challenge, I think, with Nightmare's composition is that I don't know what the Juno is supposed to do outside of just maybe avoid the dive, I guess. But then, I don't know. Like, I'm curious to see what's the point of the Juno here. I don't understand it. Earlier, we saw Juno for, like, off-angle control of the Pharah, but you're kind of the main healer here. Like, you're putting out the healing output. But Kaffa, I feel like it's going to be kind of hard flanking a lot here. But because you're not playing Kiriko, you can't keep up with that. And I don't, and you don't really have anything to support Lethal either. It's a weird comp from Nightmare. I'm curious to see how it played. Like, it feels really easy for Nightmare to just get completely folded over and spanked if they don't, like, I don't know. It's neither like really greedy and we're gonna anti-dive and punish you and blow you up with like a Brigitte or something like that and an Ana, nor is it particularly like flank heavy like a Kiriko Lucio or something, right? It just feels odd. You don't need the speed. Your hazard's going to be basically hard flanking, you know? And you're not, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not, the Lucio is fine. Lucio can just function on his own. That's what Chorong is going to be doing, right? But Juno Ashe is just strange here. If you want to run Juno, I don't know what, Juno just doesn't make any sense to me at all. UV seems to prefer the Juno. It's good to know. Gonna retrack, and they're gonna punish the cheeks out of this dive. These early dives are brutal. Those staircases and the chokes, especially when combined with a Pharah, is like really, really tough. And if you're Nightmare, you kind of have to find a way to get Zera through so that you can pull some of that attention from the backline away. But like, there's just so much. Wow, Admiral just diffs Chorong. What did we just miss? What did we just miss? Yeah, Admiral just freaking nails it. Juno does go, I guess the one nice thing about Juno is she can kind of play co-side, but that's still tough versus the Ball Tracer and Pharah. You can kind of see it, they're looking for her. Hey, I mean, Lethal really using the position here. I mean, this is pretty nice right here. They took the space here. You know, Juno went coast side, Ash went the extreme high ground away from the ball. So I still don't think the comp makes a whole lot of sense, but they're playing to the strengths of the characters. Yeah, I agree, Anima. Jeez, dude. They went for an early dive. Okay. Yeah, Lethal's Ash comfort pick is definitely there for sure. And honestly, if you're playing versus a Korean team, playing to comfort seems to make sense because you just gotta, like, I'm not sure. Like, let's roll the dice. You might as well. Yeah, I'm aware that Lethal with comfort pick for Ash, but it's more about some of the other pieces as well. Jeez, man. You could see like the lack of angle control. Like, there's nothing to mark the tracer really consistently. And they just get surrounded and destroyed. And now you're restarting, and now you're having to retake into Nano, Pharah, and or Mines. It should be impossible. If they shoot Mark Tracer, prevent Zero from walking forward, there's just nowhere that thing can go here. If I was UV, I'd just keep trying to go coast, I think. I'd just still try to go coast side, because at least that's where the flight of Juno is somewhat useful. Deep dive by Tracer. They bob, they mines. Ultraviolet just falls over despite the ultimate. And beat doesn't matter. Yeah. They're able to trade on Showwrong, who's unable to survive. They found Shu. Huge shots. Lethal gets trades. Pulse hits on Junbin, which is really nice. Zero's dead. And that's just all of your ults here. Hazard ult's not gonna be good enough in of its own. He's gonna have to hit it on like Pharah. Like, honestly, yeah, no, he doesn't even get it off. Nano Pharah, you're cooked. Or not even Nano Pharah, just beat Pharah. I don't know the results now. I could predict it was close, because otherwise people wouldn't be asking me, but yeah. Yeah, comp diff, execution diff the entire 9 yards. You know what I'm saying? A good attempt from Nightmare for sure, but I just don't think the composition had any sort of cohesion with what you're trying to do. If you're going to play the Juno, I guess you have to lean coast side and play a lot more to your open strengths, but like, you don't have anything to protect your Ash. You don't have anything to protect your backline, nor can you go flank heavy and just flank and mess up the fragile on a Pharah. You just don't have really anything going for you at all. Nor are you really playing to the map strengths either. I don't think Juno is particularly strong in this map necessarily. I think Ash is fine, but yeah, I mean, it's a good try, but it was a good concept, but not the greatest execution. Wow, this is greedy. So basically, here's what the strategy is. You put your Zenyatta, I think, on the back high ground, so the mirror of where my mouse is right now, behind me. You put your Ana kind of leaning towards left side. You have your Sombra Tracer mark the lane, so it's impossible for Zero to do anything at all on the flank or get to your backline at all. Your ball just cycles endlessly on backline because there's no damage to punish ball whatsoever. And then you destroy the hazard because you still have Sombra Tracer, but now you have Discord, Antinate, and Sleep Dart. This is more of a map thing. Like, Anazin's really good here. If this map was really wide, it would be a little bit harder for Zenyatta to get touched, but they could pretty much mark every lane to access. And this is a narrow but long map, which is perfect for Zenyatta here. Do you think they lost a point because of the Juno pick? No, I don't think you can ever boil things down to just, oh, one hero pick ruined them for losing, but it is something that's, it's just worth talking about. And also hero strengths here. Like, he's saying Lip, Junbin, Showwrong. Showwrong, you don't normally put your Lucio Brigitte player on an aim support. But if you're, again, I talked about this. This is why I think he's so good, is that Showwrong is not bad compared to other characters, or to other support players. Yeah, see, they're just waiting. Come on, take space. We'll shoot you out. There's the recall. Translocate for stealth again. He's not getting spy checked. They're just hitting that back line. They get the off-angle pincer. And I actually think it's probably a flank. There's probably some sort of pressure. Yeah, there's the nade. Okay, so yeah, as predicted, Zenyatta, I think, behind. And then Ana's controlling the other lane. I wish we had replay codes. There's an Ana pressure right from here. So it's Ana, Tracer, ball, 3-prong dive, and that's it. They're just cooked. Huge surround. And then, yeah, right, Kuffa tries to take space, Discord gets... I think you have to swap. I actually just straight up think you have to swap here. I don't think there's any way for you to... Like, Ultraviolet will have no space, Kuffa will have no space. Yeah, so there's the Kiriko swap. Kuffa's going to have to swap as well. I don't know what Kuffa swaps to. Maybe Diva. I don't know what his hero pool's like. I don't think Ramatra would work. I don't think Malgo would work. I don't think Sigma would work. I don't know. Like, you're screwed. Like, you're honestly just absolutely screwed. Like... You could maybe say Hazard. It goes for Matcha, but that doesn't feel that much better versus on his end here. Or versus Wrecking Ball as well. Ball, Tracer, Angle Deep. This is just going to be miserable. This is the Ilios Classic. This is the one that Christopher was whining about, where like Korean teams are so good at these mobile characters that it just feels like an auto first map win if they get first map choice. But they have the higher seeds, so that's just how it goes. I mean, look at this. Like, it just this. Where is this guy allowed to go without taking damage? You honestly kind of need to like find some way to like. So you would need, if you're Nightmare here, to put some sort of. I need to get Epic Pen. Give me just a second. You need to send some sort of like hit squad through that right thing and just sell Ultraviolet. Like if Ultraviolet has to TP out, so be it. Why does this always ask me to update? But like you might just need to just go, hey, let's just send Zera plus Admiral and just go and say screw the policeman. Like we literally cannot stop Kuffa from hemorrhaging. It's the same stuff when we saw like the Sombra Tracer stuff. You have to go. Have you considered becoming coach for a pro team again? No desire whatsoever. Terrible pay. Environment is hit or miss. No, absolutely not. But this is rough. Why can't NA teams do this then? Because they don't have Junbin on ball. And they don't have a Lucio player that can play Zenyatta like Chorong. And they also don't have a Sombra player named Lip. And they may or may not have a Tracer player named Heesang. This is just a really good comp for the map. This comp doesn't work on every map. It rarely works ever. But here it's perfect. There's a reason why Crazy Raccoon will always pick Ilios. Yeah, I mean, Lenny could do this. But you don't have Junbin. Chorong is just falling asleep at the wheel. There's just no way to get to him without running it down the... Like, they tried there. They tried to hit squad, but it's just not good enough. Doomer Girl, remind me after this map. I will get you. And they don't have a shoe. I mean, that's true as well. Yeah, that's a good point. Lethal goes Cassidy. I mean, sure. The problem with Cassidy versus this is you can't hinder 3 different targets and you can still get sniped by Ana Zenyatta, but nothing that you can do can work here, I think. I will go as far to say I've been critical of Nightmare in the previous round, but this is really tough. Like, this is just, honestly, if you're playing versus this caliber and this characters on this map, it is really like, it's like playing versus like peak on Widow on Circuit Royale. Like, you might just have to just go next. They're able to force the point off of an early trade here. So they're able to get the kill. Ultraviolet gets the trade, which is huge on the Tracer. That's why they were able to retake. That's a good Kitsune rush. Trance catches. Oh, no. Double support. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. That's kind of a big error there, honestly. Nightmare's gonna double down here. The good news about Nightmare's composition is if they win this fight, they're not going to. It is, you can't really retake with Ana Zen. It's the high risk, high reward strat. If you win first fight with it, it's oppressive, but they're very slow, but yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, that was just dominant. Absolutely dominant. I really question Nightmare's decisions on the first round, but I will say that is just, you just got to go next. Like, you can't, that is the worst situation. Probably Crazy Raccoon's strongest map. Nothing you can do. Go next. Is there something about Junbin's ball you can pick out that separates him from the rest? I don't know. Hey, we could look at a VOD review of Junbin's ball and probably pick out a lot of little things. There very rarely is any one thing that one person does better than everybody else. Also, a Mario Puppy cameo. Here we go. Doomer Girl, here you go. Here's your cat. Hi, girl. I have not seen these games, but yeah, I'm very rarely is there a one thing that one player does better than everybody else. It's accumulation of a lot of little things. Angles are better, staging is better, mechanics better, cooldown management's better, maybe communication's better. It's hard to tell that. Just everything, right? Like, I don't think I could look at a single player on this list and say, oh yeah, this person's just better. Like, I think if you were to describe Chorong as a top player, a lot of it is his flexibility. If I were to describe Lip as a player, a lot of it is his mechanics. It's not just his positioning, but mostly his mechanics. I think that gives him the edge. Lethal, I think a lot of it is his positioning. He's a very aggressive, very creative flanker, which is a really good thing. I think Ultraviolet has a standout Ana as an American player. Admiral is a standout Lucio. Kafka has a standout Hazard, right? So it's not that the players don't have personality and differences thing, but there's like generally when we talk about like what makes a player great at a specific hero, it's very rarely like one specific facet. Is Genji bad here? Genji would struggle. Genji's not bad on Ilios, for instance. He's okay. Low-key, I think SSG need me. That's actually, I would agree with that. If I were to describe Kafka's dual citizenship. Yeah, so. Yeah, it's just tough. Like, I think, like, you can be critical of Nightmare there, but I don't think you can really be too hard on them, to be honest. Okay, we continue here. So, somebody was asking about Genji. Genji here would be good. Very first point, second point, all the way up until third. A lot of verticality, a lot of congested space. Really nice here. So Genji, I think if Nightmare could absolutely play Genji here. I don't know. Zero has a really good Genji, no? So let's take a quick look at bans here. So Nightmare bans Ana. Play to your strengths. Don't let Shu play Ana. Like you want Shu and Chorong. You don't want Ana in the equation there. Makes total sense. It also probably gatekeeps some of the Winston stuff that they could pull out with Junbin here, which is probably not something that you'd want to kind of play with. What's up, Apollo 5? Thanks for the 21 months. Congrats to the 4-month strength and hope you are doing well. Ana ban is huge here. They need to win this map. Ramatra ban is also huge here because that is something that Nightmare could absolutely pull out. But honestly, I think the Ana ban matters a lot more. I look at Kafka and I think this guy can play Hazard, this guy can play Ramatra, this guy can play whatever is necessary. Ana ban really cuts him down to size. Well, Crazy Raccoon's defensive comp is interesting here. So they're going to go Diva, they're going to go Max. They're going to play Diva here, which is fine. Lots of verticality here. Pharah is really good in this first point. They're going to go very greedy with the early poke here, which makes a lot of sense to me. Juno's strange. I don't know. I always have weird feelings about Juno being plugged into this position here. And this is really where you feel the Ana ban viscerally, because you look at this and you're like, man, could we not just play Zen here? Like, but no, you can't, because you don't have a lot of healing to prop up the Diva. You just want Ana here. You want Ana because you want Nano Ashe, you want Nano Diva, you want Nano Pharah, you want the healing output, you want the range threat output. Yeah, it's like the ult combo, but Juno just doesn't really have that great range when compared to Ana or Zenyatta. And it just, you're gonna struggle to heal and poke from long ranges here. And there's not really a lot of need for speed ring either. So it feels awkward. The support lineup feels awkward here. I understand not running Zenyatta Brigitte. When you're running a Diva, you might want a little bit more sustain than that, but it's going to feel uncomfortable. This comp just doesn't feel super great. Yeah, I don't know. Why is Shu and Brig? I don't know. It's probably what I predict. Well, actually, I do know. What I expect is it's probably Hop singing for the sub. It's probably because of a swap that's going to happen later, would be my prediction. Like there's a strategy behind, okay, Chorong's going to swap to this character and they don't want to do a double swap. But yeah, okay. Nightmare honestly can run a lot of things versus this. They can run, I wouldn't necessarily see, I don't think we'll see Widow or Hanzo here, but you could absolutely run like, you know, Ashe here, Ashe Tracer, Ashe Genji. You could run Hazard. You could run Hazard with Juno Brigitte. Like, I think depending on what these DPS swap to, I think Nightmare's comp seems a little bit more cohesive because Juno Brigitte, first off, you have people that are playing those characters properly, but the speed ring makes, there's a little bit more value of the speed ring because you're running the Hazard. There's something that can benefit a little bit more from the speed ring. Yeah. Wow, wait, Lethal actually staying Hanzo? Interesting. Hanzo would actually be solid here if it wasn't for the Pharah. But I don't know, man. Lip just gets smoked. Off-angle control from Hazard. They need to get the Juno Brigitte off the floor. They need to get them off the floor, off the floor, off the floor, off the floor. Genji takes top. Hanzo takes top, but we still have supports on the floor. Admiral. Earth to Admiral. Earth to Admiral. Get off the freaking floor. Like, if you put your Brigitte here, you're cooking. So Admiral disengages out. They catch Shu. Where the frick was Shu doing? Okay. They retake, but they're going to hold, I think, based off of that pick. I think you swap off of... I wonder if you swap off of Diva here. This is... Well, no, Diva's okay here, but yeah, you see, there's the swap. Dude, what is Crazy Raccoon cooking, man? I don't like Zen here. Zen first point, maybe, but second point's way too congested, I think. Yeah, they're forcing... They put Admiral on point for faster point cap, but I don't know if it's worth it versus that amount of space. This is... What is this comp, man? I don't like this. I don't like this. You don't have near enough ranged pocket onto your supports or your backline. This is a glass of, a house of cards here. Glass of cards, I say. House of glass, house of cards, your choice here. And like, yeah, third is really good for Zenyatta. Lots of nice, long, juicy sightlines. But like, look at that. Like, that D.Va is isolated just by a little bit of a little baby dash from Hazard. If Hazard can get in the room there, okay, so he was unable to get in the room. But they just need to get their Haz. So here's what's going to happen, right? Look at the respect that these guys have to give the threat of this plus speed ring, right? How fast a speed ring, zoomy, bam, bam, dead. This is a skull. Okay, that's a skull, okay? So what Crazy Raccoon honestly has to do, and I'm not even joking here. How many of you in chat are familiar with Stefano, one of my community members? You have to Stefano Zenyatta this, I think, which means you have to do hit squads, which means you have to do little ganks, little rotate up here, quietly float behind, 5 orb with your Pharah off the flank. I don't think you can play Honest Zenyatta and early in this point here. I think you have to do something a little bit silly. Your sightlines are too compressed. It's way too easy for them to isolate and focus on D.Va. They give up way too much. The whole point of playing Zenyatta is to shoot people. You can't shoot people when to get to shoot people, you have to be this close, right? So you have to open up flanks. You have to open up creative plays that are honestly kind of high risk. If you wanted to play more honest Overwatch, like you could run Juno Brigitte here, and this would be not even questionable. It'd be fine. It'd be fine. But you can't do this here. It's so easy for Hazard the speed ring to close the distance plus Genji. The only problem is they don't have an answer for Pharah, but that's the only downside for Nightmare right now. This card is just moving for free. There's the wall. There's the speed ring forced. Fear, panic, fear, panic. The first ultimate we see here, Nightmare should be able to run them over. There's the speed. You see that quickly they disengage that speed ring? We've had 0 fights, and the card is in last fight territory. Now, the good news is that Zenyatta is actually good now, because they've opened this up. But that's the problem, is that you're in 0 fight territory here, and you don't even have ult yet. So if Nightmare hits the anvil right now, I'm expecting Juno ult opener, probably layering into a dragon, Hazard ult, rally finish, like blow the ult bank here. They're gonna get to third point here. That's a nice Sonic. There's the Juno ult. D.Va's out. Lethal gets caught, but Lethal is able to disengage out and live. Juno ult's used. Max is murked. Max is demeched. He doesn't have his bomb. That's it. And you can't retake this now, I don't think. You can try, because I know Korean teams, but you don't have space. Lethal's going to rip the dragon. I really like that. They're going to Juno ult. They're going to fully disengage the Bob. They're going to fully disengage the Juno ult. They're going to pop rally. They should pop rally. They don't even need it. That's... Ooh, he's saying... Trance, rally, blade. Oh, that's unfortunate. The rally blade is really bad for Nightmare. Rally was fine. Zero needs to hold this blade, because you got 2 for 1 with Trance, but the problem is they still don't have a lot of space here. Kaffa pops the ult after later, and then they're able to somehow isolate Lip. Hazard ult gets eaten tragically. That's the one bad thing, is that you have a really bad ult off of that. Oh man, that's actually so tragic for Nightmare. Hanzo dying, I think, is acceptable. There's not a whole lot that you can do with that, but you cannot stack your Trance and rally there. And then Kaffa, because if you're able to do that and combo that with your Hazard and just hit one person, man, that sucks. That sucks. Thank you, Kaiser. I appreciate the bit. That was Admiral not committing with rallies soon enough, right? Well, let's look at it here. So, no, they had to fully disengage that. The Juno ult's still active. You're still waiting. This deflect I don't love, but it's not the end of the world. Lethal gets caught by that. They really should just have focused. Yeah, see, this is the problem. They should have just focused on killing Heesang. Heesang lives here. Heesang freaking lives there, which is criminal. Turn, kill Heesang, then open rally and go from there. You know what I'm saying? I want to give credit to like Lip and Heesang here, like even though Lip dies, for finding ways to get out of the choke. That's the problem with the retake there for Crazy Raccoon, is getting out of the choke, and somehow they did it. they did it. Like, they wasted the Juno ult and Bob ult, wasted, but they used the Juno ult and the Bob ult to get out of the choke and to take crazy flanks. Without that, they don't win this. Yeah, maybe they mistracked the Zenyatta ultimate, but I mean, that was a long time he was on Zen. Lethal's gonna go Sojourn, which makes sense. And that hurts. That hurts so badly. That you should be winning those ult trades there. Well, the Nightmare problem is that they didn't kill the Pharah behind, and then they forced the brawl on main, and then layered their ultimates horribly. So you either turn on the Pharah behind, preferably, or fine, you want to brawl on main? That's fine. Okay. But please don't pop 2 ultimates for the sake of 1. You let Trance counter 2 ultimates. And then Kaffa's ultimate does literally nothing. Which, and it is a hard ultimate to get out of, but that is a big factor. You literally got nothing out of your ultimate there. So, Sojourn over mirroring Ashe, yeah, it's easier to retake with Sojourn. If you have that big mobility, can move around really comfortably. Ashe feels a little bit better in defense when you have time to set up. I think they're just farming Juno ult here. I think that's what they're trying to do. Genji deep angle. Sojourn's flanking with the rail. Does she get anything? She does not. Thinking about Barrage. Thinking about Barrage. He's got it. Barrage is pretty good versus this here. There's the flank. And then they're going to angle, rotate, split, speed ring, Juno ult here. And then who's on the flank here? Who's on the bottom here? Okay, so Genji from the flank. Barrage can counter this. Oh, no, they got him. They got him. They opened the angle and they caught Heesang. Heesang couldn't rotate in time, and he gets off-angle pincered from 2 angles here. Nicely done. Wham. That's so big. So Heesang's looking for Barrage. And Max is getting chunked, so he's not going to get a pretty Diva Bomb at all. It's going to be drop a bomb on point. He gets railed. Admiral dies to Lip? Where's Admiral? Oh, he swings too aggressively, trying to kill Max, and then dies for it. And then Max freaking remax. No, come on, no, please, not again, please. This is just okay. Can I? This is just mechanics. This is just mechanics. This is a global thing about like you have to not die to random crap, and Lip just hits those shots. You know, it's like you could do every. This is why it's so hard to beat Korea, because you could do the quote unquote macro flank rotation, and then Admiral just died. He just died. It's just completely unearned. You know. And then they're just going to Juno ult this. They should Juno ult this. Chorong? 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 Like, why did he wait so long? Oh my days. And then they just walk back out, and they take the space, and they even get a kill off of it too. Was it worth the risk from Admiral? I mean, yeah, to get like 1 swing, but... No. I mean, no. You know, like you have to play that one better. Good players don't get traded. I mean, yeah, honestly. I mean, that's obviously a little bit of a simplistic statement, but yeah, they just murk the hazard there. Wow, this sucks for Nightmare, man. This felt so good at the start. You had everything going your way. Ult bank, slight compositional difference up until the end there. Free poke. Zira. Zira. Oh, dear. Oh, man. Yeah, Zira saw it. He thought it. He thought about it. And once again, you're in last fight territory, and you blew your blade, so your layering's trash, which means now, unless Hazard Ult catches a ton of people, you're cooked, man. Like, you're freaking cooked.
That's why I would love to be able to have seen the dragon blade there.
Well, there's the downpour. Does it?
Ooh.
That's why I would love to be able to have seen the dragon blade there.
Heesang gets isolated again, and yeah, and I really like the. I will say one thing the Nightmare has done really well here is that the DPS are taking space really, really well, and they keep catching Heesang with his pants down. And that is the one bad thing about the Juno Zenyatta is that they do have to play more open space, and so Heesang doesn't get proper pocket. The Hazard Ult zones, the Bob is used in response, the Rally is used in response to that. But the problem is that you're layered properly, but you're down a DPS if you're Crazy Raccoon. So then Max is going to get tranced. But then that's going to create an opportunity for a full disengage. Admiral this time doesn't get traded. And so then they're going to be able to retake with Sojourn ult, and they can literally just shoot Max. It doesn't even matter anymore. That finally the quote-unquote mechanical trades go their way. Yeah, nice job. Nice job. The Pharah is really strong in this map. Pharah is a map pick at the pro level. Pharah is not super strong right now, but Pharah is chronically underrated in low level like ranked play because she's a difficult character to play at like a min-max level and is very map situational, right? So this verticality we will almost certainly see. Well, we probably will see a Pharah swap here because the map space is a little bit more open. I don't know what you would go. Maybe Genji. I'm surprised they're staying Pharah now, I will say. This is a little bit too open for Pharah. Oh, yeah. This Zenyatta just coming in clutch there. Those longer sightlines are just brutal. I have not seen the current bracket, no. Oh yeah, you could be right about the perks. That's true because the concussive blast is going to remain relatively good. There's no matrix for it, and so that's actually true. Yeah, the suck perk for Conk is really freaking good. How come you would go Pharah instead of Echo? Because Pharah is way better at murking backliners. Echo is the better duelist in verticality, like but like Pharah just does way more damage. Like if I'm ultraviolet, I'm way more scared of Pharah. Like Echo's too reliant off of hitting stickies. Pharah is not. Pharah creates her own opportunities. Pharah is really good. I think Echo is more of when you need like consistent verticality, and Pharah is way better when there is a specific spot of focus. Echo is better when things are a little bit more broad and you can move around. Pharah is better burst. Pharah is better in smaller areas. This is exactly what King's Row is. Like this damage output is just so much more consistent. So there is looking like some Juno ult posturing from Crazy Raccoon. So they're going to do it. They're going to mirror it. It is odd from Crazy Raccoon though. I'm surprised to see them going so forward. The problem with this is that you're on defense, so you don't really have to force anything. You can kind of like respond when whatever they, and also you're pushing kind of outside of your Zenyatta's LOS. So if Nightmare just kind of lives this, if you don't have like a Bob or Barrage to follow, they must be thinking about like Barrage or something. Must be. Yeah, it has to be. Yeah, it's the Barrage. That's what it was. Yeah, I was wondering why they're, but you see, even then it was still kind of expensive, right? So they actually pop their ultimates here. Oh, sit down!
For the Pharah, Blade's been popped, the down port is good for the connection with on Max. A nice little deflect hit on Lip as well.
Oh, yeah, it's an ego push. Well, to be fair, it's an ego push because it's also around Barrage, which makes a little bit more sense. That is absolutely a land deflect, dude. If I ever did that, I'd hear the cue, but it wouldn't go off. Wow. That's such a big play, too, because you're going to actually be able to walk forward and take space off of that, too, right? Like, your ult bank is not in shambles. Your ult bank is fine. And you could just slowly walk forward and choke this out. It's huge trade right there. He lives because of that too. Ult's fine. You can isolate and kill Max off of that. Oh, perfect. We got the trance and the DMAC, and my Zenyatta's out of position. Monstrous. Admiral pops rally as well. Why? I guess it's used in response to the trance, but I don't think you have to pop it immediately because trance does not increase their lethality necessarily. It's not a bad play though, because it's like at this point you might as well just not take any major risks because that is like that's a fight losing mistake there from Crazy Raccoon. Nicely done. Good. Huge deflect, huge trading, good stuff. Well, there is no immediate remake right at that point. Yeah, I really am surprised at Crazy Raccoon forcing that fight with the Barrage. Yeah. I'd have to go back and look at where the Zenyatta was, but if that was the case, you definitely want your Zenyatta. If you're going to push forward with the Barrage, you want your Zenyatta on the left side of my screen right here, walking forward and peeking this sight line here so that you could get better trades. Maybe he was, but weird play. And honestly, the Ana ban goes so hard here. Like all of this mess has come because of Juno Zenyatta is just weird. Like you just don't play Juno Zenyatta very much. It's just strange. And Crazy Raccoon clearly didn't have a secondary option that they'd practiced as much necessarily. What does Brigitte even do against the Pharah Ashen here? The Brigitte is more about pocketing your DPS and denying the Diva. But I agree with you that it probably starts to feel really poor on third point as things start to open up. But also Admiral doesn't really have the other hero in his pocket. That's what makes Chilrong so good. Chilrong can just go Zenyatta. Admiral probably doesn't do that as much. Although we have seen moments where he did. So, okay. They're going to go... Oh man, I don't know about this. This is Crazy Raccoon's best solution, which I guess if you're just better, you're just better, but they're now playing Nightmare's game. You have the... So let's explain the difference here. You have the ability to... I would say the speed difference is about the same. The amount of times that you speed in, amp, and speed ring are going to be about the same. The main difference here is that you are, when things get hectic, this matchup, higher risk, higher reward, because you have more ranged support from armor packs and healing, and probably a comparable ult bank. But if you make a mistake, these guys can fold quickly. If you close the distance on Juno Brigitte, they're going to lose to Kiriko Lucio. So I'm curious to see how Crazy Raccoon rotates. But again, this is playing up to Nightmare's strengths here. Oh, he missed the wall. Shoot, it went through the door frame. That sucks. They clear the top, and that's exactly what Lucio can do, right? Your Brigitte Juno might get folded over here, so they have to kind of rotate away. And what that does is that allows for the staging off of top for a deeper dive. My problem with this is Max might have gone in a little bit too far. He goes in maybe a little bit deep. Maybe it doesn't matter because apparently Zero gets smoked. Yeah, Max does get isolated and killed, though. He goes a little too fast. His backline wasn't ready to go. And if backline doesn't die here, the survivability of Kiriko Lucio doesn't matter as much. Max Hazard. Yeah, I'm not as familiar with how good Max is at Hazard. He needed to wait, though. That rotation from them was really good, but then they just needed to wait, set up the DPS, and then go. Wow, they're just really going in hard. Like, they are just not wasting time at all. So they're just going. Like this is so odd to me. Like look at this carefully. Do you see anything wrong? Sojourn's not anywhere. Sojourn's not even there yet. They're just going. By the way, this is not Shu. They're just going. They're just like, kill Lethal, kill Lethal. Lethal gets the triple, quadruple pocket, and once again, Max gets traded. They didn't clear out an angle. Well, they kind of did with the Kiriko a little bit, but they just kind of like, they're just cheating. They're cheating. You guys know this term that I've used with coaching sessions before? They're not really rotating. They're not really setting up their flanks or angles. They're just go kill target right now. Speed in, run it in. They're just cheating. And they're getting rolled. The mechanics can be there. The team play, I'm sure with Crazy Raccoon, is there. But the macro is not. And just because you're running Kiriko Lucio doesn't mean that you can cheat the system. That initial rotation even from them was really good, and then they just ran it down. Like, they didn't wait for cooldowns or follow through. Yeah, it's very brute force. Now this setup's way better. They got a trade, which is nice. But the danger is that you've lost 2 fights now. And so if he could catch this with rally, he needs rally, he needs rally, he needs rally. Okay, yeah, walk. Help. Look at this from Zero. So look at this from Zero. So this is the difference here. Cuff at Anchor's point. Juno back. I don't know where Soj is, but look, yeah, it looks like Sojourner is here. And we're going to see a Brigitte, Genji, I say, rotation to catch the push. I think we're going to see a rally push from the right side. Ultraviolet needs to run away. Ultraviolet needed to run away. Yeah, we are going to see that. Ultraviolet should have played his life, though. A Nightmare to fight into. A little messy there. I think Lethal got caught in the flank too deep by himself and mistimed his pressure. But I honestly think maybe the fact that he was on the flank is the only reason they are able to retake with somebody in spawn.
That defense was amazing. And take a look at how many ultimates Nightmare get a chance to hold on to. Ultraviolet.
How much does scheduling affect quality of play? A lot. A great deal. Juno Lucio. I think I like the Lucio here. A little bit more congested. So Brigitte makes a little bit less sense. Are they going to stuff with Juno Ultimate? Oh, Chorong? What is Chorong doing? Wait, no, where is Chorong? I'm dumb. I don't even know where Chorong is. So Chorong dies off screen. Probably up top would be my guess. Yeah, it might have been a railgun plus Genji dash up top in the window there. Yeah. So, layering. I predict Sojourn ult opener. I predict a Juno ult in response. I predict a Genji Blade or Max ult in response to that. And then I predict Zero to try and Blade to clean up that. And then it just comes down to mechanics. Let's find out.
They're still holding on to these ultimates. So Crazy Raccoon, they've got to be very nervous.
Here it is. Sojourn ult now? Oh no, they actually bait it. So Lethal uses it in response. It's a good Sojourn ult from Lethal. It's a good disruptor shot. They're going to try to bait it and disengage it, but it's going to be hard because they've used literally everything. So Max doesn't have a single block resource. That's actually such a good disengage from Crazy Raccoon, but oh my goodness, was the margin of error there 0. If they hit wall there, oh my gosh. Oh, they're so low. That's actually crazy. That was such a risky disengage there. Lethal hits a slightly better shot. And so then now we're going to see a Sojourn ult from Lip. Responded with an ultraviolet ult, responded with a Kitsune. Or maybe just a Kitsune. Maybe just a Kitsune. Yeah, just a Kitsune. Juno ult, Kitsune, Blade, deflect onto the torpedoes, but he doesn't get it, and they catch Chorong. So Zero has an easier Blade time because he's already on the choke, holding the choke from the top window. And that's all he needs. And he's also able to clear them out of the Kitsune ult, which is really nice. They get the trade. Lethal. What's going on here? They catch Heesang. Target priority mechanics right here. I think this is where I would love to have Kuffa, because Kuffa is freaking Kuffa on Hazard. You know what I'm saying? So we talk about mechanical Korean competency, but then you have Kuffa, who is on paper should be the better Hazard, and these Devolve fights that really helps. They will need to back off here at some point. Good patience here. That's a good angle from Max as well. I don't like that play from Kuffa. He's going to need to disengage that. Sojourn ult used for space. Beat used. Okay. Beat used in response. Kuffa uses the Hazard ult. This Hazard ult's huge. The Hazard ult trade matters here because the Hazard ult is who dies during beat here. Nobody. That sucks. Still, they're dying on cart though, so that's not the end of the world for Nightmare. Ray Blade better than Rush Blade, to be honest. Yeah, the damage boost I think matters. Well, this is the direct sustain definitely helps. That lip shot is absurd. Almost as good as me. They will get a touch though, and in this situation here, like getting an extra fight touch in a neutral situation where you don't have any ultimates does mean that you're gonna milk another potentially 30-35 seconds off the clock. So, what do you mean I could do that with my eyes closed? I do that.
I think it might be okay to try to extend this into the third.
Overclock though coming up for Lethal, can they?
Yeah, this is just basically. Wait, holy crap, they are cheating so freaking hard. Max is just in, man. He is just in. Like, that is the one downside out of running the no brig variation, right? Is that you don't have the pocket onto Lethal or Ultraviolet if they do go. So, like, they're cheating, but they're doing so, I think, for a reason. I think they're thinking, hey, if we can just int onto this backline will fold. So, I mean, this is kind of like what we're looking for, you know? Like, he's just like, look at this. Like, there's no Brig here. Brig is what stops that from happening because the Brigitte's armor pack and the whip shot is what slows that down and knocks them back. Now, it's still cheating. You still open yourself up to getting traded, and that's exactly what's happening here because you're using resources to go in, and then you don't have resources anymore. And so, you know, I mean, if Nightmare's able to stall this out, wow, they're able to straight up sustain it. Wow, that's huge. Early or late second point holds, man, have been huge. Well, I mean, see, this is the problem. Saying it's 2 random kills is like, I'm not to rain in y'all's parade here, but there's a reason why that happened. Let's slow it down without the replay code. So they just cheat. They go in really deep. Admiral goes in back to quote unquote peel in to shoot people that's close. They use slide. They used amp. So now there are targets that are isolated. This is Genji, Hazard, Lucio with resources and good positioning versus these guys that are standing in the complete open. Here it is. Hazard slashes in. Great. Admiral flanks around behind and catches Lip that just slid back to payload. Zero and Lip hit squad. Get Chorong on cart, who is also on the way back to payload. but a lot of that is probably Zera. Yeah, it's Zera. It's not Admiral. And then Admiral also goes after Lip, who's already low, again, with more help from Zera. So they just flipped. They two-man flanked around behind on resources-less backline.
He gets two. Unfortunately, ends up going down, but their spawn points are pretty
And then because their spawn point is closer, as Jaws is saying right now, the caster, you're going to be able to come back and be able to support Kuffa faster than you'll be able to support Max. So there's your actually moment for me to spoil all the narrative fun. It was a good play by Admiral, but it's a good play from the entire team. And I don't know who called that, but that was crucial. The Juno is a bait. I mean, honestly, yeah. Like, straight up. Like, if you could force them to cheat and live long enough to drag it out, sure. Was the play wrong then from Crazy Raccoon? I can't really criticize them for cheating there because there is no real way to rotate on the backline there. So I would say it may have been a misread of the ult economy. It looked like Crazy Raccoon forced the high risk, high reward play instead of just angling and punishing Cart. And maybe they did that because they thought that they were going to run into an ultimate. Nightmare didn't have an ultimate yet. They're coming close to overclock. So it, at worst, is a bad analysis of the situation. At best, it's a team that is confident in their mechanics and team play, willing to take risks. I think if you have any criticisms of Crazy Raccoon, I don't think I'd put that fight at the top of my list, given the fact of what the map allows you to. Yeah. Worst case scenario, you could say, yo, we should be getting traded out equally off of these chumps, these jokers, these American noobs, right? Or European noobs or whatever. But I don't think it was bad. Like, this rotation from them is nice. The reason why is it screws up the off-angle setup the Nightmare might have. They can just open with Kitsune on Cart here. The Kitsune is there. The orbital ray is there. Oh, Nightmare's blowing the load here. They're throwing 3 ults here. Beautiful. They need to win this fight, and they need to win this fight convincingly. Like, and they need to win it, like, all the way. One more. They need at least one more kill now. They know it, too. We need to go. We need to go. We need to go. We need to go. Cannot let them regroup and have superior ult economy. Zera gets... See, this is the thing. You died over pushing, but you need to here. Because if he's saying dies here, it's totally worth. Even if he dies. Somebody has to die. Oh, no, they didn't get the follow through. Oh, no. Okay, so my criticism is not the double ult. My criticism is the triple ultimate. Yeah, Admiral is European. Lethal is Turkish. Well, kind of, yeah. But they needed more than one kill here. They needed more than one kill. It's a really good disengage from Crazy Raccoon, and honestly, I gotta respect that he's saying for the blade as well.
Taking the game into his own hands, but forced back. There is a downpour coming through as Copper dodges out the way, but Lip and Max take down UV and Lethal as Copper.
There's a lot of EU representation in WCS. This tournament hasn't been as good for EU, but well, actually, I don't even know if that's true. Honestly, there's still a lot of EU representation. That sucks for Nightmare, man. They're like legitimately killing Heesang there, and you're cooking. Okay. When teams end up wanting to naturally layer through ultimates, what do you think teams should do for managing the length of the chain? Just accept the loss if the enemy chooses to commit more else than they believe they should commit? Yeah. I mean, I think what ends up happening, though, Anima, more often, is that you really don't have to worry about like the 3rd and 4th link of the chain, but because the reality of human error is that by the 2nd and 3rd length of the layering chain kick in, the people have screwed up. Somebody messed up a cooldown. Somebody just hit more shots, you know? So when we're talking about like layering, even with high level teams, I think you're really only focused on like the 2nd or 3rd ultimate. So somebody's going to freaking die. So like what you would do here is you would focus, I'm not worried about like the 4th ultimate layer that Nightmare, yeah, exactly. This isn't Rivals. I'm more worried about the fact that we blew 3 ults at the same time, instead of using Juno ult into Blade, or Juno ult into Sojourn ult. Like, I would have preferred the Blade simply because of the space that they had for the Blade, which was really close, and then, you know, cross that road and get there. No, it shouldn't really never mature beyond 2 to 3, because the game is not in a static environment. There's not just human error, but the game is like, there's so much more mechanical expression than there is with a game like Rivals. So things are just going to fold quickly. So you should really only focus on the first 2 chains and getting those chains. For me, it's more important if I were coaching a team to focus on getting the first 2 layers correct and choosing which layers to go with. Like, for example, I prefer Blade over Sojourn ult because of the space of the map. And I think it's really important that you get that layering down correct. You get what I'm saying? Whereas in a different space of the map, opening with Juno Blade would be really bad. Like first point, you want to open Juno and then layer that with Sojourn ult because of the spacing. I don't think you should ever discourage full 4 or 5 ult chaining. If you end up using 4 or 5 ults in a chain, that's fine. I don't think it's a problem. I don't think you should ever, because the problem is that if you use an ultimate to layer, you have like a 50-50 chance. But if you save an ultimate, like I don't think you should ever purposely try to lose a fight, even in dry fights, I don't think. Like I would go as far to say that like if you only have 1 ultimate into like 3 or 4 ultimates, I think you should use that ultimate in that fight to try to force those ultimates. Like even if you're taking a dry fight, I still think you should use an ultimate if you have one and do so in a really aggressive, creative, chaotic way to try to force more than you do it. Because I mean, it's an ultimate. Sometimes things just go wrong, you know?
Just holding down the front line.
I think that's just a much easier system as well. I think that like otherwise you get too like mathematical about it, and sometimes people just see opportunities and they just want to go for it, you know?
But forced back. There is a downpour coming through as Copper dodges out the way. But Lip and Max take down UV and Lethal.
The problem is the extremes, right? It's okay to just use the blade if you see it or the Sojourn if you see it, but you just can't use 3 ults versus 1 and then only get 1 kill. That just hurts, you know? Okay, gonna be close, man. Like still like pretty good for Nightmare, like the fact that we're at this position here. Oh no, Lethal gets smoked. I think there was an intention there to stage aggressively to beat into Sojourn ult, and they're going to stick with it. Yeah, they're going to stick with it. That forces beat in response. It's not terrible for Nightmare that they force that, but they just need to get a trade or die on cart. They cannot let cart move. They cannot let cart move. They cannot let cart move. Yeah, and you can tell Crazy Raccoon is all of a sudden giving... Oh, no. He's saying it's traded. That's huge. Oh, no. Shu gets traded. That's huge. You can tell, like, Kuffa needs to die now.
He's so low, trying to get back to the rest of this team.
Yeah, so this is like, you can tell Crazy Raccoon is giving actually way more respect to this kind of stuff because they know Nightmare's like, oh, we're down one? All right, you're dying now. We're taking you with us every single time. So that's really well played. Really painful for Nightmare that they don't have an ult though. Like really, really painful, but not the end of the world because Crazy Raccoon can't really go just yet because they're just now here. Man, where do you set up here? There's the early slash, there's the dash. Was that deflect from Heesing? There's the Kitsune. Kaffa's gonna try to disengage this out. Max tries to stuff out Lethal. He's successful. Really good disengage here from Nightmare. Like literally seconds count. So if you can disengage a Kitsune for 2 seconds or 3 seconds so that Kaffa can get a little bit of his resource back. Honestly, it's it's remarkable that they're able to disengage this. Like incredible. Like, and now Lethal, look at this. Max stuffed Lethal and then had to jump back because he's low. And now Lethal, Daddy's coming. Come on, Lethal. Show me what you got, buddy. Rip it. And you can shoot literally anything. Literally anything. Yeah! That's it. That's so good. So clutch. What a shot. Really, and not just clutch in the shot, but what a disengage. I'm sorry I get to talk about the boring stuff too, because I really like the hype moments. I'm with you guys in that one. But honestly, like the fact that Nightmare goes into this, no ults, no money, nothing, and they're able to live this Kitsune without anybody dying is incredible. They knew it was coming. This setup is really good with the Juno Kiri on, or the Juno Sojourn on the angle, the Lucio Genji. Kaffa baits it. Kaffa even baits it, right? Oh, he's used block. He's used slash. He immediately runs, amp speed out, block out to the corner, full disengage, and they're just unable to push it enough. They're unable to take space off of it. It's just really well played. It's not a huge error from Crazy Raccoon. It was just a freaking amazing disengage. Like really good macro there, man. Like Kaffa went in. Yeah, exactly. Kaffa went in to bait it and then immediately disengaged. Just really good. Just really good. Yeah, I mean, I think if you're Crazy Raccoon, you're not looking necessarily at that as like the reason you lost, but like how slow and painful first point felt for you. Agent Meerkat, thank you for the sub. Hey, Giant Stiff. Yeah, the stone looks like it's aggressive, but it still provides covers. So like, yeah, this is a masterclass, man. This is pretty high level Overwatch, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's refreshing to see. This is nightmare time. Sorry, nightmare time. Freudian slip, actually. This is rough. You're talking about Junbin, Wrecking Ball, New Queen Street, disaster piece. You know what I'm saying? It's the Ilios for push maps. Now, does anyone know how the bans worked here? Was it Crazy Raccoon's ban? How does the system work here? I don't understand the Lucio ban unless it was a protect ban. Okay, Hazard ban makes sense because, I mean, honestly, Hazard ban's still kind of weird for the map. Hazard's not great in this map. I don't think we would see Kuffa play Hazard here. I would be surprised if we saw Kuffa play Hazard. So maybe they were protecting tank and banning Hazard. Yeah, absolutely. That was the play because they don't want ball banned. So you have to ban a tank. And you might as well ban Hazard. Sure, why not? So they want to protect, but I don't know why they're banning Lucio. They don't want Ana Lucio play it, but I don't think Lucio's good in this map. I don't think Lucio's good in this map. I think we would probably see, like, you could see, like, honestly, like, you could, I don't know what you would see here. I don't know what you see. Maybe you would see Lucio on the flank. Like, Shu's going to be on an island no matter what you do. I don't know. I actually don't know. It's tricky. You don't want to ban Tracer. You can't ban a tank, and you already banned Ana. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the Lucio ban is just like, maybe they'll play it, but there's really nothing else to ban. Like, there's nothing that Lip would play that they wouldn't want to play, right? I could argue that maybe they'd ban like Sojourn, because I think maybe the gap between Lip and Lethal's bigger on Sojourn than it is on other characters, but maybe they didn't want to do that. Maybe they wanted to ban Sojourn elsewhere. You don't want to ban any other support, because you've already banned Ana. You need Juno. You want Brig because of your comp. Maybe you could ban Kiriko or something because Chorong's got a pretty nasty Kiriko, but I don't know if that's still the case anymore. So I don't know. This is where I'm going to have to admit some ignorance about like the bans, the strengths, what's been played recently. Preventing Kiriko Lucio, maybe. Yeah, I don't think they're really scared of Kiriko Lucio. I think if you wanted, I think honestly Kiriko Lucio would not be bad here, but yeah. Either way here, this is going to really come down to individual players here. I think compositionally, this is just hideous. This is messy. We've got freaking ball Juno Ana. We have Juno Brig Ram, but like on a map that where you can be so exposed to multiple angles here.
I mean, give you that mobility to be able to find an angle.
Soldier is okay. So I'm going to play devil's advocate for the Soldier. Soldier is. There's a lot of space here because of the map that you're playing. A lot of space, which is great for Soldier. Basically zero chance that Nightmare is going to go anything resembling dive, and probably not a very high chance that they're going to run Sojourn either. I think Soldier's fine. I think people are crying about the Soldier, but this is like a good map, a good comp to play Soldier with, and a good comp to play Soldier against. Now, that doesn't happen very often. I think Soldier's fine. You're going to be able to outrange Cassidy and everything. You're not going to have to worry about Tracer that much. I can see what you're saying about Sojourn being better, but Soldier takes deeper flanks that Sojourn cannot. I think Soldier, I agree, is bad in 95% of circumstances. I think this is that 5% right here. Best map, best comp, best team comp. I think it's good. I don't think you'd see Soldier in literally any other situation. In fact, I don't think you'd see Soldier versus any other team outside of an EMEA team. I think it's fine. I actually think Soldier's perks are also halfway decent as well. You just basically infinite reposition, but I'm not so sure. So I think this is going to come down to execution. This is where I was talking about the Kiriko ban, where this is exactly what Chorong. I think Kiriko makes way more sense than Juno here. And this is like the Spilo angle max right here. Like right here, Kiriko Tracer Hitman Squad, your Soldier on a longer angle, ball here on a longer angle, and then as the map devolves, Soldier's going to start taking his own flank. I think this on paper, thank you Torbjorn Main, this should be hard for Nightmare. Stop being a clown, sorry. I think this should be hard. I think first fight here is probably really good for Nightmare, and then as this map evolves, like you don't even necessarily have better ult economy if you're Nightmare. Jeez, that's crazy. I think you have to stay Ram. I think you have to stay Ram. That boop was so far, dude. Holy crap. Man, they're really going in, aren't they? That felt a little bit like cheating there. It's really awkward for Soldier to engage there. Wait, they go Winston? What? I mean, Winston's good here. If you can play Winston, the comp is really good for Winston. Ana, Kiri, Soldier, really good Winston. But Ultraviolet's gonna have to, is he gonna have to play Ana? Okay, well then this is where, okay, so, all right, so Sojourn heads in chat, this is where you would want Sojourn. because Sojourn is going to be way better responding to dives. Soldier works better if he's not being actively dove. And then Lethal goes Sojourn. Oh, wow. Gauntlet thrown down. Nightmare's comp may not be better on the map, but it may be better in the mirror. Oh, okay. All right. I'm going to say it. Soldier does need to swap here. And now Soldier's horrible. Yep, you got it. But see, this is the thing though. The Soldier is bad now, but you force them to make a full comp swap. 3 heroes. Because he's playing versus Sojourn, Winston, yeah. So Lib could just run back to spawn and be like, all right, frick you. Take us in a dive mirror, I dare you.
For the Winston, and now Lethal and Ultraviolet to follow on the Sojourn and Ana respectively. They're just gonna go.
Yeah, so it's so easy to stuff
Wondering if Junvin is going to see this and maybe start
Soldier out, and honestly, he doesn't do enough to punish the dive either.
comms are going to start to consider their options.
Dang, man.
Yeah, maybe.
Get fricked.
Lip does swan better though. Lethal down to Lip.
Soldier on height, that's good. I mean, Soldier's still, Soldier's still okay here because it's a very open space, but around these corners, man, I feel like it's gonna feel really bad. And you can kind of see what I'm saying. Like, Kaffa just, with Ana Kiriko, just doesn't get punished. Chorong has to commit to the flank, man. They have to commit to the flank. They can't try to save Shu. Mine's early. Sojourn lives. Chorong on the DPS mode. Catches Ultraviolet. Oh, double boop.
Really nice.
Oh, no, Lip.
Sprinting Lip trying to run away. Yeah, but this is
Okay.
going from bad to worse right now for Nightmare. Mines used in that last fight, right? But now they have 4 ults and check.
I mean, you still got Visor here. It's
really big here as well, just because of the different avenues Nightmare could actually take to attack.
early hit there. They're trying to force the Winston out. Pulse bomb on Winston is pretty good. But nade is used defensively, bubbles used defensively. It's not bad to pulse bomb there because you get both nade and bubble out. Nano visor and Kitsune.
Yeah, and Kaffa is just getting melted in the front line, but a nice little rally bash there onto Lip.
Okay. Yeah, I don't recommend nano visoring when you're stuck in when you don't have any. Like, the thing is, it's like he turns the corner, he knows where they are, and he still pops visor. What exactly is he supposed to shoot here besides Winston? They literally threw 3 ultimates at a nano Winston. Dude, Nano Visor is good. Nano Visor defined a pro meta first season of Overwatch 2. But no, as in was good, as in it is good. It's still a good combo because of the space that the lack of an off tank provides. But you have to actually have something that you can see. You see nothing. Wow. Honestly, you gotta give credit where credit is due, though. And so now we swap, right? After he dies. I mean, I get not wanting to swap now. Like, you didn't actually properly die, but like, this is day 2. Points forced. Honestly, just look for Primal on with Soldier, just free value. And Chorong needs to swap, I actually think. Like, well, I don't know. Like, Kiriko is better than Soldier in this map, but Chorong gets the trade. Lethal responds. That's where Kiriko can still provide value because this map is so freaking wide. You know what I'm saying? Admiral's freaking dead. Backlines are being traded. Yeah. And Lethal, Lip has to swap. Oh, he's just, oh, it's just Helix. Okay, I thought he jumped off the map. Lip has to swap here. Lip has to swap. Lip has to swap. Lip swap. Lip swap. Lip swap. Lip swap. Lip swap. Okay, you now have the right to criticize Lip. You now have the right to criticize Lip. This is stupid. It's not worth the 40% ult charge or whatever that you'd lose. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Now, I will play devil's advocate one more time. There's no nano, no primal. So Soldier can feel a little bit better, but still not worth it. It's still not worth it. You're allowed to say anything ugly, nasty, insulting about Lip's mother now. Because I think the way that Crazy Raccoon are playing this is pretty reasonable. Like, Junbin's doing fine. Chowong's on the angle with Heesang and getting a lot of really nice backline trades. Shu is playing pretty safe and at least making his death expensive. But there just isn't any punish. There's just no... Lip is folding over because he's Soldier into full dive. And, yeah. It's just so incredibly easy to shoot Lip from long with Rail and with Ana, and to shoot Lip from short with Winston and Tracer and Brigitte even, you know? There just isn't, and there isn't enough damage. Come on, man. Just take the space. Put the fries in the bag, man. So Nightmare's kind of squeaking. I mean, I will say Lip is playing the hero right. Like, he's on a solo angle, but outside of Winston jump range because he can't, right? The problem is that he's playing the character right. It just doesn't provide enough value here, right? It's too easy to poke him out. It's too easy to brawl him out. He has to be super respectful, right? Like, look at this. If he gets any close in this, he's freaking screwed. Kappa gets nanoed, he gets the trade, Ultraviolet gets slammed, he gets died, Lethal gets the shot on Lip because you just can't win that duel unless you're significantly better. And to be fair to Lip, he gets Lethal low, but Lethal just hits the shot. Like, the only... Spilo. I almost said Spilo and then he actually kind of tracked for a second, so, like, never mind. Okay. So, I mean, we're gonna see another nano visor, chat. I mean, you could nano tracer here. That would be pretty solid as well. But nano balls, like, doesn't feel great versus on a brig. Too many tools to deal with that. This rally, we're gonna see a nano visor, man. We're gonna see a nano visor. I'm just waiting.
Because of how much pressure Junbin has been putting onto the backline, but maybe the rally helps.
No shot. We see nano visor Kitsune again.
So that you don't let Crazy Raccoon run away with this.
Yo, cheers, TP. Thanks for jumping in. Early bubble, they get some trades off of it. Lip doesn't have like any space here at all. But it's just so hard to take space to Soldier versus this comp. You get so close. Chowong gets smoked. I don't know what happens here. He just gets murked. I don't mind the idea of the Kitsune. Maybe he was a little too close, but something went wrong with the team play there. Something went really wrong with the team play there. It's Bumlow. Hey. Yeah, they are winning. If Zero can win, when I say survive. Dude. He's swapping, right? He's swapping, right? He's swapping, right? Like, that's just like getting... Because honestly, that's not bad. Because you visor, because he thought maybe that he'd get a trade, you know? I don't know. Maybe you get one kill there, and then you die and swap to Sojourn.
And this is where Nightmare can actually start to take over this map.
Yeah, okay. So, they're gonna retake here. They get the lead. He's not swapping! What's going on? Why? Lip, why? Why? You don't have ultimate. You're playing it to nano and primal this fight. You just used your visor. Are you stupid? Dude, this doesn't make sense in any standpoint. He has no ult charge to preserve. The comp doesn't make any sense. He's got nano Winston and primal rage to play into. What is he doing? This makes no sense. I've been vouching for this guy for 6 minutes. Oh, no, it's okay. Actually, I see no, that was it. If he had not used visor there and retook with visor, then even that would still be bad, but it's like, all right, well, there is zero justification. I cannot justify this anymore. I cannot go to bat for this jackass anymore. Back to spawn. He's taller than me? Yeah, this explains a lack of blood flow to the brain. What is going on? This is one of the biggest tosses I've ever seen in pro play. Ever. Holy frick. Get off the legs, you jackass. He gets railed and landed on. Healing station, completely ornamental cooldown. I was doing more in stadium with a heal station build than this professional player is. Holy crap, what a troll. Finally goes Sojourn. Well, fool me once, fool me twice, fool me thrice, fool me 4 times. Finally, I guess. Like, that's how low my faith was in Lip at this point. I thought for sure he was just gonna stay. I thought this was just like a joke now. Holy toss. Such a cheap fight win for Nightmare. The only reason they aren't getting more here is because Admiral got traded to Mines. It's so wild to see these comps, bro. Holy crap, Lip gets killed again. Where is Lip? He gets naded. He's on Robot. He gets naded from far side. And he just... Wait. Oh, wait, they naded the wrong person, I think. Or something happens. Maybe he nails the wrong person? I don't know. Where's Lippy Lip? There's Lip. Yeah, so it looks like a Nano Jax. Yeah, that one's not on Lip. That's just, I don't know, something goofy happened there. I don't know. Because he was expecting Nano there. He didn't want to use Slide. But they went for Heesang instead. I think it's just a bad Nano from Shu. I don't know. No, it wasn't a Nano Jax. It was because it did land. It just felt like it went to the wrong person.
Zera's dominating on the Tracer right now. You saw in the little interview there, Danny was saying that, look, in Dallas, Zera, you said you wanted to be the very...
And honestly, Junbin, like, it's hard for me to, like, I don't know, man. Junbin's ball is still great here. I don't know. I don't think Junbin should swap because the map's still really good for it. But this is where all of a sudden we've ended up in a situation where, like... Oh, man, Lethal just gets folded. The Mickey Mouse still ain't over? No shot. You're kidding, right? They're just gonna die in card, I think. Wow, how do they get out of that? Admiral should die, right? Oh, well. Yeah. You can tell he's feeling it, though, you know? They're like, dude, this is so winnable. We can win this. Oh, dude, actually, I respect that so much. They're gonna get staggered here, so like, you know what? Frick the police, man. Let's just get a trade. That's actually a good, that's a really big play. It's a big play. Lip back to spawn again. Admiral had a vision, yeah. Well, Lip shouldn't have been healed because he was expecting Nano. He was inside bubble. You can't, I mean, you could pack that, but that's not gonna be enough. All right, so I'm thinking just, man, I don't know. The one problem with the Wrecking Ball is, again, is just on a Brig, if they were really on their game, it's just not great. Like, you could pretty much just freely nano your Winston whenever, and you'll be fine. Angle set up from Winston Tracer. They're poking out Junbin just a wee little bit. They're stopping cart. They stop it back. Pulse Bomb is good. Where did Zera come from? Did he come from far coast? No, he came in from left. Yeah, he comes in from left. He wraps the flank around and he just goes. That's a big pulse there. I wonder if that was like a weird shield pulse or not, but that's actually so big. Such a cheap, not even really a fight win here. But like, it's just slowly the robot trickles back. Oh no. I don't know what happens. Maybe they take the 4v4 and they weren't ready for it. That's unfortunate. There's a Nano and Winston. Huge nade from Ultraviolet. He gets the rotation to coast side somehow while we're falling asleep at the wheel. Maybe that's why Lethal got traded. And that is a nasty silent. They need to get one more, though. They need to get one more for this to feel clean. I mean, it's not terrible. You still got one, but... Oh, no, traded. There's the Nano in defense. Lip has it. Primal's used, but he's not gonna get anything.
Perfect, Rose, and that's going to be
He will get Shu, actually. Okay, that's not bad.
they can't afford
Could be worse.
Shoot.
Does he get out alive too? No way.
They're just resetting the
Wow, he gets out alive. That's huge.
point, but they still need, what,
There's the heal bubble too.
4 meters or something? I can't
They
do math.
need to win.
All right, this is it.
Decisive team fight here.
Huge advantage for Nightmare with his space to control, even with the mirror ultimates. There it is. This is beautiful.
With the overclock, but Lethal's on an angle
Huge.
of his own.
They spotted Jumpin, a couple of shots there into the wrecking ball.
Can they find Tracer?
Raccoon running for the hills. They've got an overclock as Jumpin falls danger.
Absolutely worth it using there for the isolation, the cooldowns that you can get. You could,
A stick. Okay.
like, this really puts him on the back foot here. That's a recall. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Oh my gosh! They did it!
Jumpin.
That's off of the Sojourn ult. So Sojourn ult here early on the angle forces the Tracer out, all the way out. No resources. My guy is living on life support.
Crazy Raccoon.
1 HP. Also look at Junbin's HP as well. So Crazy Raccoon, there's recall. So Crazy Raccoon has no resources. They don't have adaptive shields, no grapple, no recall, no blinks, no nothing. Nightmare pushes the cart away, is able to isolate and scare backline with Pulse Bomb, and then they're able to put out just enough pressure. They actually take space off of it. That's crazy, dude. That's crazy. That's crazy. What a gambit. What a gambit. Wow. Honestly, okay, C9 for sure, but honestly, earned from Nightmare, man. Earned. It cost it. Crazy Raccoon was on the ropes. They were trying to greed it to wait till the last possible second to pass the Sojourn on, and they just waited too long.
Just yet. Oh, they have touched. No way.
A C9 on international.
On a dive mirror.
Into the crowd perfectly. Crazy Raccoon of all teams.
Wild.
Bot on New Queens in this sound.
Nice, dude. I'm just telling you, man. It's messy, but like, and like Lip sold the farm, man. Like, what the heck? But like, honestly, I gotta respect the setups have been pretty decent. Like, they're not okay. NA is just not gonna be as clean. But at least the creativity and the confidence is there on a LAN environment versus the best team in the world, you know? And it shows, man. It shows. Confidence often leads to better macro with how your DPS position, and I'm loving to see it. It State Sultry, what a C9. Okay, Juno ban makes sense from what we've seen from Nightmare. Cassidy ban, I guess Lethal's just feeling the Sojourn. Yeah. All right. And let's also clarify here on the Nano Visor Kitsune Rush. As bad as that was, perfect resource management from Nightmare with the Nano Winston there, and then the rally at the last possible second as well there. Like they're forcing errors and they're punishing errors. Lip is having to is trolling with the soldier, but he died afterwards as well. So yeah, okay.
But this is what the desk was talking about. If Crazy Raccoon want to be
On a Brig better in defense here. Kirikalusi better with setup, and I honestly don't think you want to take an On a Brig mirror versus Shu.
Backline looks a little different, but Lip is angry, and you don't want to face against an angry Lip.
Yeah. Very rare do we get to see the 7-foot gaming warlord smile. Just a stalwart expression on the
I'm gonna eat some watermelon.
win or lose.
Kiriko Lucio has to win by connecting with your backline with their backline. And because of that threat, you can force Shorong and Chu to play further away and out of sight lanes of the tank trade or the DPS trade, so that then you can win tank trades and DPS trades. But there constantly has to be a pressure of, if you overstep, we will run you over, because we have two supports that can do that. And if you over respect our Kiriko Lucio deep poke speed threat, then we will isolate and kill your tank. It is the line that has to be towed. On this map, Ana Brig is not even close. Certainly superior because the amount of open sightlines this map provides to an Ana. But you don't want to play that game, so we're gonna have to see how Ultraviolet and Admiral play it. Oh, F, are we back? YouTube kind of bonked for a second there. Apologies. Okay, so I think we're back now. I didn't even look at OBS. Were we gone with Twitch as well? Okay, we're gonna keep going here. So this is, I mean, this is tough, man. It was a stutter. Okay, in no way should Nightmare win this. In no way.
I think there's some merits
But
to Ash's point of this too.
you got to try something.
Because like Crazy Raccoon, they are just gonna win it. The skill on this team is just unbelievable.
And
You can see
shocker, who would have thought that Brawl tanks aren't good right now? Winston has been the better tank for a long time, but these freaking jackasses wouldn't get off of Malga. Holy crap. Okay, we're done.
so
All
successful.
right, I'm gonna eat more watermelon.
Is just great on the team as they try and take the girls. Big team as they try and take the girls. Big.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Whoa, angle lethal. Bam! Love it. Sushi, the word on the street is that it's through OPR. So it's a different game server.
Good pick from Lethal, but they have to be able to follow it up. And it's going to be Lip that's able to even that score.
He's pissed. Like you said,
Do you see the chaos here? Do you see the chaos? Do you see how like stressful and chaotic this is? And look at even Ultraviolet. Let's play a game. Where is Ultraviolet? He's on the floor freaking DPSing.
He wants to win. And aren't you still losing? Ultraviolet's gonna make it a little bit different.
I mean, yeah. I respect it, man.
Where are you going? Where are you going, Jumpin? Zera, by the way, too. Just an unbelievable Tracer play. Was known for Tracer on the ladder.
I'm sure OBS Sojourn will have POVs. I also asked for an OPR account
Best Tracers we've had.
from Blizz, so we'll see. Because I would like to look at the finals through replay code whenever they are.
Also get the better of a lot of these 1v1 duels. I think Liv's up to that prophecy he's written for himself. He wants to be the best in the world. I think it's the exact stage to be able to show that. So let's see what Lethal has to offer.
Kitsune Rush is really good. There's the Nano in response. I don't think they were expecting the Nano. The nade is there. The Suzu's there as well.
Being used there, Crazy Raccoon trying.
Kitsune continues. Kaffa goes in deep. He might have overextended. He does get that second bubble, but he just barely gets out. Lethal needs to let it rip. Let it rip. Let it rip, Papa. Rip it. Rip it. Rip it. Rip it. Rip it. There it is. Isolation on Brig. The pulse misses. Other pulse hits.
That's been placed in front of him. Jumpin.
Lethal getting up in the face. And I will say, them playing around this building is really favorable. Rally for Primal. For Kiriko Luso, because it's freaking Kiriko Luso. That's a really nasty, congested place. They're playing the building. Like, I'm telling you, remember, how many of you guys have seen my stupid Spilo coaching reviews where all I freaking talk about is architecture, architecture. Play the map, play the angles, play the space that plays for you. This is why. See, look at that. They had to give up in the Brig. Kiriko Luso are playing that small room where there's all that space. It's really good. You can outvalue on a Brig if you play around that space. What? I think Jumpin just overextends. I don't know. He doesn't want to use his Primal.
There is a minute.
This is bad, guys. This is really bad.
Crazy Raccoon. They got it next to Big O's. They haven't even got the point. They're still getting picked.
Like, Crazy Raccoon's on the freaking ropes. They look super flustered right now. And Nightmare are playing really well. This layering is pretty good. The old economy is pretty good. The angling is good. The playing around cover.
Lip's got an overclock. They've got to jump in Primal Rage.
Zero needs help. See, look even here, right? So like Zero, so check this out. So if we only get it for like a frame, but you see Kiri Tracer on the flank marking. Winston jumps Kiriko, she TPs out or walks away. That costs resources. That puts Heesang down low. That puts Junbin down low. Ana can't do that. There's the Primal. There's the Suzu. I don't know if Ultraviolet has teleport. Yeah, look at that. He can't. He doesn't know who to go for. Everybody has a mobility cooldown. Lethal mismanages his slide there. I felt like that was unearned. I don't know where Lethal's slide was there, but oh, that's so unfortunate. So it kind of sucks that they lost it just to Primal, I will say.
And you can't blame him for going for that one either. He's been so good for the team, and 15 seconds in the time for Crazy Raccoon.
Cactus puppy.
He'll be a dangerous one.
There is going to be a touch.
Wait, I gotta just for that.
Back there, and it looks like Nightmare are positioning themselves to try and get that recontest in, but they have to walk into
This recontest will be tough. Kitsune goes cart. So Kitsune cart, bubble cart, Sojourn on top angle. Junman kind of has to play cart, which means that Lethal should, in theory, be free. Who do you nano here if you're Crazy Raccoon? I actually don't know, because you might just nano your Winston to trade on cart, but I'm not sure. You could just nano whatever, because you could just nano shoot yourself. So this is going to be tough for Nightmare, honestly. Lethal slides out, gets isolated and killed. That's just the downside of running the Kiriko Lucio is you just don't have that. Oh, nice shot. You just don't have that range pocket. That on a pocket and armor packs really provides. So, bummer. If only they had a soldier to nano. Retirement. Exclamation mark allegations. Exclamation mark apology. No, we're not getting a Polo command. Frick you. Yeah, 2 ults for 4. Yeah.
They even invested the rally into that, and that shows you discomfort for Crazy Raccoon as they make
Apollo
through the second objective. They are going to be able to take this.
Take top. Good stuff from Kuffa. That forces Lip back. Lip back means you can walk out of the choke and punish Winston, punish Heeseng. Heeseng gets forced out. Winston gets forced out. They're able to ice. Man, whoa. Shoo, whoa, shoo. Maybe a little bit soon to the primal, but I saw the vision there. Junman needs to die now, otherwise they're in serious trouble. Okay, I was gonna say he gets primal, they're screwed. But yeah, I mean, honestly, this is like, guys, these dive setups from Nightmare are like pretty good. Like the way that they're taking space, a lot of it's starting with Kaffa's good staging, but and Lethal finding these little angles. But this is like not bad. Like this is like, it's pretty good. This is more than I'm expecting. Paternity. This is not bad. Early trade here. Tracer angle. Trade. Now they don't have... I don't really have anything to keep Kuffa up immediately. Pulse hits. That's nice. They need to look at Primal. They look at Primal. The beat comes in just in time. If they can get Junman, that's freaking amazing. Can they get Junman? They can. Wow, this is like freaking good. Kuffa manages the attention. Oh no, that sucks. So he's captured Principling and backline. They need one more kill here. They can get Heeseng, right? Oh man, the mechanics. Oh! Oh! Nice! That was huge. Oh no, that was huge. Oh, so messy, so messy. Okay. So now we've got Kitsune out the choke. If need be, hold high ground with your Sojourn and burn cart. What does Woshu mean? Oh, they go Kitsune to touch. Admiral dies. Admiral dies. Admiral dies. What happens to Admiral? Does he get bashed? No, Admiral just gets isolated and killed. Something happens with Admiral. That was way too cheap. Kitsune for rally is fine. It was also an awkward rotation, but somehow Admiral dies. That sucks. Lip is isolated. Lip needs to die. Lip does die. Primal for touch. This matchup should be really easy for Winston. There's like no damage. Forces teleport on Tracer. Kind of sad that we ended up on cart, though. We really needed to catch Chu here. I don't love this. Like, it's not terrible, I guess, but there's like, you waste a primal just to kind of bump a Tracer around. Doesn't feel great. Oh man, some of these neutral trades, this is like the mechanics a little bit where it's like some of these deaths just feel unearned. That's a huge pulse bomb from Zera. But man, that hurts that we were unable to get more out of our primal and Admiral just dies for frickin' free. No, Beat's late! Oh no! Oh no! And he shuts down the, oh no! Backbreaker! Oh, that hurts so bad. Oh no! Oh, the origin of air there was so close. And now you're kind of screwed. Because it's like you can't really run Kiriko loose here. It's really congested. I like the hazard swap, honestly. Shoot.
react to this. They cannot take their time here with how much time
Early dive. Kava takes a lot of damage. That's Suzu as well. Looks like they're trying to flip the map, but it feels really awkward. Maybe they're just trying to take 2 fights here, but I don't know. It felt a little unnecessary there. I think what the play was is they just read the old economy and tried to do something chaotic. So sure, I guess they just can't stagger this year. This is looking really staggerable though. Admiral could die. Admiral gets out. There's Bubble. There's Primal. Lethal is fine. That's actually okay. That could have been a lot worse for Nightmare. They're gonna respawn with an ultimate. They zapper. I think they might have caught Chorong there. That was huge. Where the frick that stupid downpour? Sorry. Explain to me the tank matchup on this point here. I mean, Hazard's better. Unless he's playing versus CC. And he's not. They're on Kiri Lucio. Hazard's better. It's more congested space. The verticality is more than good enough for this. Like, this is just a more congested point. Hazard's better. Hazard's Cuff is also really freaking good at Hazard. Yeah, exactly. Now, if they were on a Brigitte, I think Kuffa would have some hard times. It would still be possible. It would just feel really bad. But the problem is that they've committed, and so they're kind of screwed. Hazard's a great dive tank if they aren't in CC. He still has counterplay versus CC. It's just not near as good as Bubble. Yeah, it's a lot harder for Winston to get past the Hazard. So they just need to... yeah. Oh, wait. UV, no. UV, this feels so unearned. Beat engage. Kitsune is honestly well timed, but maybe not well positioned. No cooldowns left. Do it, Papa. Do it, Papa. Break the bubble. 3, 2, 1. Sauce it. Oh, it's a big beat. Wow. Huge. Chorong's out. Turn. Winston should die. Winston should die. They need to chase this. They do. Nobody dies. Okay, Heeseng's dead. Junbin's dead. Come on. Lock it up. Nice. That was... oh, that ultraviolet's got to be sick to his stomach. That was almost really bad. Kitsune timing was fine, but you cannot just die for free there. Wait, what is going on? Clean it up! Lock in! Oh, there it is. Nice. Oof. That was really good. Big pulses. Why the heck do they stick the Winston? Like pulse bomb the Winston? Pulse bomb Winston's good if he's missing armor at all. No, I don't know the result of each match. Okay. Not kind of a backbreaker there for Nightmare. Could have been a lot worse. Could have been a lot better. Man, it's crazy that Crazy Raccoon is running Kiriko Lucio defense. I just would not ever expect this. Winston's fine on third point. It's not optimal, but Hazard is like probably not up Junbin's hero pool. And I think Winston's okay. He's really freaking good at Winston. There's a little bit of verticality. You could argue that like Diva would probably be better there, but Junbin doesn't play Diva, so yeah. I'm shocked at Kiriko Lucio. I don't like it from Crazy Raccoon. Honestly, I think they're fine at it, but like you're on defense here, you're fine. It was a little awkward at points for sure, but that was more of an attack thing and how well Nightmare were playing. This really is like, if you're a Crazy Raccoon fan, this is not a sign that you'd like to see. This shows like a real lack of confidence and what I assume their strengths are. And I'm assuming that they play on a Brig. And Kaffa's gonna go, okay, frick you. If you're gonna go Kiriko Lucio, I go Hazard. Like this is why I don't like it. It's not just, oh, you can play on a Brig better than these guys, but it's also the fact that like you're letting Kaffa go Hazard. You don't want that. We don't want that. We don't want Kuffa on Hazard. Nice little flip the map rotation there from Crazy Raccoon. You need to do a better job scouting that and continuing to apply pressure. That's always the problem with cart push, is that somebody has to be in cart so that you don't always... oh, nice. You can't always mark every angle. If Nightmare backline can live here, this will be okay trades for them. I better hate hair filler. Do you think Nightmare just holding them for so long make Kiriko a good? Maybe. I mean, maybe, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I assume so, yeah. But this feels pretty good for Nightmare. Like, He sings low, Admiral's low. That's recall force. Blinks are used. He sings all the way out. Space is being taken. Looking for backline trade. Kiriko TP's used. Suzu's used. Teleport's used. We got it again. He's got teleport again. He should be able to live for a little bit longer. They're able to get the trade onto Lucio. Forcing cart just a little bit. He's saying doesn't have recall. That's an isolation. They're going to go hunt down. Looks like Junbin here. Junbin absolutely going to get staggered here. He's going to try to go for the combo, but recall's there. He's going to try to steal the mega, but nope. And that is it. Wow. I'm just so surprised that they're running Kiri Lucio, man. No way they go for the touch here, right? I just can't believe it. Like, Nightmare's playing it well, but this is playing the Nightmare's strengths. I think Hazard's better or as good as Winston here, or at least close, right? Like, again, if you can force Nightmare to play your game, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I guess it's hard here. This is where I think Hazard's a little bit worse because things get super broad and Winston's speed really helps. Oh my gosh, that's huge. What a setup. Before the fight even starts. Even this trade's here acceptable. Admiral might need to beat this. Like, even this is fine. Like, even if it's even here, because that's an ultimate use, first off. Well, it's an ultimate for an ultimate, I suppose. But, like, you're getting out of the worst part for Hazard, which is this early space because it's so long. You get the cart underneath, all of a sudden Hazard feels a lot better. I'm shocked. And now they're screwed because they keep getting the support ult cycle where it's like, oh, well, we should stay because we have beat. Bit of an awkward block there. I don't think that's exactly where he wanted it. Very aggressive staging for Zera. They're getting a lot of pressure on Junbin. That's bubble. Bubble for beat. Beat for beat. Kind of a weird beat from Admiral. I don't know. That didn't really feel like a very lethal dive there from Crazy Raccoon. And that then isolates lethal. Yeah, that was a really poor setup there from Nightmare. Uncharacteristically cheap, lazy fight plan there. I might want to go back and look. What happened? It feels like they're trying to stuff undeservedly. And Admiral is under a lot of pressure. I'm not honestly sure. It might be this. You know what it is? I kind of don't really like this Zera angle that much. It feels way too deep and too easy to mark. And so he's kind of like letting the entire team go for free. So I think I'm going to put a little bit of blame on Zera there for that position because he just didn't really do anything. You can't like rush a backline pulse on in this mirror at all. So that was too deep of a flank. That's a Spilo too deep of a flank. I can't believe I'm saying that, but it's too much. Take a soft angle, poke tank, pressure cart. Look for your pulse on mid fight. Be patient. Speed rotate underneath. You're gonna rotate and flip the map. I actually like that a great deal. Play more to your Hazard's architecture. Hazard's isolated here. Lip, Sojourn ult for Sojourn ult. They need to steal cart. They are stealing cart. Hazard needs to block. Hazard is low. Hazard needs to get out. Katsuna on cart here. Katsuna. Gucci gang. There it is. Okay. Katsuna's used. Bubble's used. Junman's low. Lip is low. They need to kill now. They need to kill now. There it is. Good trades. Yeah, that was really well done. Good layering. I can't believe Shoot popped ult there. And that's a cap. Really nice rotation from Nightmare. There is your Lucio value right there. They flipped the map. You can never do that with Ana Brigitte. Never. And Crazy Raccoon honestly just backed off. I don't know why they backed off there. Maybe they had did they have a support ult disadvantage there? They did. Okay, so that I guess that's part of the equation there, but that's tough. That's tough. No, I'm not aware of the results. I've not watched any of the games. We skimmed through some of the earlier results. Are they expecting a flip here? It sounded like they were expecting a flip. You see that? They're expecting Crazy Raccoon to flip the map and take the engagement early, and then Lethal just pops behind them and shoots them in the booty cheeks. I think that's 100% what they're expecting. It actually ends up not being what they do. So, yeah. So then Lethal will drop. Yeah, they're like expecting a flip the map, beat engage, or something like that, so. He's feeling it a little bit. You kind of just have to, like, war of attrition this. This is going to be uncomfortable. Nice and slow. Nice and slow. You have to respect the beat engage. There's the beat engage. Kuffa gets beat as well. Kuffa just needs to get out, I think. Yeah, so they're going to get out. They're going to try. Lip is... What the frick is Lip doing? Trade does not favor Crazy Raccoon here. Your ults are... Your spawns are closer. Bubbles used. Fighting withdrawal, but the cart can kind of still move here for free. There's Suzu, there's jump. Wait, what is he doing? Why is he so deep? Why is he so deep? Oh no, Lethal's not getting help. There's the TP, there's the Suzu. Yeah, see, this is the thing, like with Zero. I don't always understand, like I know Zero's had some sick pulses here, but I really think this is a mistake. You do not play this deep here unnecessarily. This is fine here, grab Mega, fine, but you need to continue to apply pressure. He's so far away from Lip that he just isn't actively taking a positive resource trade, whereas the enemy tracer is able to close the distance from this off flank, and they're just able to trade significantly better. I just find these situations where Zero's too far from an engagement and is not taking a positive resource trade. No, I don't think Zero has had a good match for sure, but like it feels like we're forcing things a little bit too much at times. Not the booty cheeks, yeah. But not the end of the world, I guess. It just felt like a little bit of a cheap fight win here. So we're going to see Kitsune for Kitsune, probably Primal layered on top of that. Primal's really hard to deal with Sakura Lucio because you don't really have any punish for it. And like you only have one TP and one Suzu. There's Kitsune. There's Kitsune. Oh, he messes up. Oh, he messes up. He is not good spot. Not good spot. He could get traded here. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, that's it. That's what we needed here. Now he just needs to live. He grabs the health pack, gets the blinks, he should be fine, and that's exactly what Nightmare needed. Ult for ult. Nice, Sarah. Nice play. Nice play. You know, and that's where I'm criticizing Zera, but like he did get the pulse bomber here at the start of that fight. That was a crucial trade that they needed to make that fight positive for them. You know what I'm saying? That was really done. I think the play here is whenever there's more pressure, is I think you just kind of play it chill. You set up Sojourn on high ground and just kind of play to bait. Or just get, or maybe even disengage an ultimate. Oh no, Lethal screwed it up. Earliest, wait, beat for Sojourn ult. Sojourn ult layered on top. Junman's gonna get his primal forced. Oh no, UV dies. Oh wait, traded? He has 2 slides. Oh no, and Kaffa misses his ultimate. So I think Kaffa tries to hit the primal and he misses it. Or he tries to hit somebody and he doesn't hit anybody. Oh, Primal's just so much better than Hazard ult. It's so much more consistent here. That sucks, man. Sucks. Feels like such an unearned death from UV as well, because he wasn't on a deep... Like, Lip wasn't really on an angle there. He was just kind of in his own backline. That sucks. Okay, well, naked fight here. This is it. This is the moment of truth right here. All right, set up your Sojourn. Deny the dive. Heesang snooted on the right. They punish Heesang really hard. They clear him out. Recall's used. Hazard. Slash. Everything. Deep Sojourn angle. Junman's looking for the opportunity. Recall's forced. Bit of a mistimed dive there, which might mean an unfavorable cooldown trade there. Yeah, it's a lot of HP done. But the good news is that there's still a nice little angle here from Lethal. That's going to force and a little bit of an awkward dive. They TP off of the dive. The slash comes in. Oh, boy. Shoot, I don't want to... Dude, I was so nervous, man. Holy crap. Junman overextends. Doesn't even overextend. Huge plays from Kaffa. Dang, man. Really well played on the neutral. I want to highlight one specific moment here. And it's this right here. So Kaffa forces cart. This is after kind of a messy recall timing there. Kaffa forces cart, blocks to preserve his HP, and fully disengages. Then, once forcing cart, the high ground advantage from Nightmare, from Lethal. The Lethal has the better angle control here. They get the jump, they disengage the jump, Kaffa goes and trades it, and Shu teleports with the dive. That is a really risky choice because this slash, as a result, chunks so much HP. And I don't even know if Shu had Suzu there. It's just better neutral stuff, and honestly, credit goes to Kaffa here, man. Has the world caught up with the Korean? No. You can't have one freaking match and decide that. That's just not how things work. Really well played by Nightmare. They deserve the win. Let's actually, I guess, catch up on what else happened here. But wow, I mean, honestly, guys, like, yeah, I mean, it's good. It's a good match. I think Crazy Raccoon really got to question some of their compositional stuff, so with some of the soldier stuff, the lack of Ana Brigitte. But honestly, huge credit goes to Nightmare for bringing them down and playing dive pretty darn well. Layering is pretty good. Hero performance, individual performances from Kuffa, from Zero, I mean, the list goes on, was good. And crazy, they really punished Crazy Raccoon's mistakes. Yeah, that was well done.